Hello and welcome to today's reading, which is the second test sample session stream of Bone, Shell, and Crystal reading. So, as some of you know, you were here yesterday when I created, or began to create, my casting mat. So I began with the casting mat. I said trust the process. I have improved it. It is better than yesterday, and I will show that in a moment. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce the reading. If you are new, if you were not here yesterday, it is Bone, Shell, and Crystal reading, and I'm in the process of creating the casting mat that you see here. It's not finished. It's not finished and it's handmade, so be kind. But I'll show you. So I do have my priority list here. I do have my my priority people. So if you were on the list from yesterday, you will be prioritized. Miss Venus is first. I was going to timestamp it anyway, but Miss Venus is first. So there will be a beautiful yin yang in the center when it's done. I did manage to remove the excess glue, fabric glue off it. I didn't bother with the middle as the yin yang will go over that. But if you can see, I removed all of the excess glue from these parts, so it looks a lot better. I still need a good pen so we can do the sections clearly when it's down here. You guys can't really see what the sections are called, but that's okay, I will go through it. And I did put a back piece on it, so I've kind of almost finished the back. There'll be something there as well, but I've done the back to make it a bit nicer. And I just want to show you, so it's what my idea with it is, once I'm not reading and I finished, have all my elements there, they can be oh sorry, they can remain in the pouch. So it goes from a casting mat to a pouch. So as you can see, if we do it properly, we put those parts in. So it'll be like this, go into a nice little pouch. So that's the idea with the casting mat. I think the people who saw it yesterday probably think it looks a lot better already. But yes, that's how it will go. So it's not complete, of course, it's not complete, but I'll get into it. I just wanted to show that because it is something I'm hand making, and I don't really hand make things often. So yeah, just thought I would show that. So there we go. It's probably good enough for you to see it. I know some of the sections cut off a little bit. We'll get a better angle when we have more space, but that is it for now. Ankita, hello. Miss Venus, hello. Samaya, Pooja, Sid. I think that, Tom, hello and welcome. Candy, hello. Let's see. So Ankita says you can also fold and stitch the corners to make it more durable. I kind of want it to be a little bit rustic and, I don't want it to be perfect. I'm not going to use a sewing machine or anything like that. I do want it to be a little bit rustic, but I just want it to be pretty. So I'm not really great at these kind of things. I'm using fabric glue. Cherry, hello. Miss Venus says she watched yesterday and they were interesting. I'm glad that you think so. So I should really have got another piece of paper for the list. So just bear with me one moment. But Miss Venus is first. But I just want to check because I need to know who's priority from yesterday and who isn't. And we do only have an hour. So we'll probably get through. We'll see how many we can get through. Of course, we'll get through as many as possible. It's a sample reading, so we won't use every single element, the bones, shells, and crystals. But if there's any particular one that you're really drawn to when you see it on the mat and you want it in your reading, you are welcome to say that. But otherwise, I'll go with guidance on what is going in the reading. So bear with me one moment. I'll just grab a piece of paper, which I should have done before. I apologise. Wonderful. Okay. So I have a new piece of paper. So we have Miss Venus. So let me just say who was on the priority list, and we'll see if any of those guys are in. So we have Miss Venus as first. So do we have Mazzy, Cherry, S. Leela, Samaya, who I've seen, Shweta AA, Rachel Piercy Art, Swathi, Samina, and Lisa. Do we have any of those people in? Give me a shout if you are one of those people, and we'll put you in. Okay. Oh, Miss Venus has the list. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. So yeah, please do like the video if you haven't already. I will boost this and I will keep doing it. So as I complete the mat, we will keep going and we'll keep going with it. So let's see. So we have, oh, we do have a few people who are in. Okay. So Miss Venus, Cherry is here. I know, Miss Venus, you have the list. I do appreciate that as well. Cherry, is S. Leela here? No. Samaya is. So I'll put Samaya there. AA, do we have AA in? Don't think we have AA. But we have no Shweta, no Rachel, Swathi. Sorry, I keep knocking at the phone. No Swathi, but we have Samina and Lisa, I think. Yeah, Samina and Lisa. Samina and Lisa. So then I will just see who else is in who wasn't on the list. So people who've already had a reading, there's only 4 yesterday, I believe. So and we have Ankita was first in. So guys, if I don't get to you, you'll be priority next time. So please stay tuned and believe in me. I promise I will do more of these. I promise I will. I'm really excited for it. So then we have Tam P. Candy, you weren't here yesterday, no? I thought you were for some reason. Candy B. And hello and welcome everyone as well. Sid. Tanya. Tanya M. And Kevin. And also guys, I am thinking of doing a members only one. So if you don't get on today and you're a member, probably the first week of October we'll maybe try to plan a members one. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll go with this for now. And anyone who doesn't get on, we'll see how it goes. So there'll be members and non-members, but I'll just try to get a members one. Jyoti, Daz? I don't know how to pronounce that, but you're very welcome. Hello and welcome. So there we are. So this is the list. I can't promise we'll get through the whole list today, like I said, but I always keep hold of the lists as priority for the next stream. So if you're in the next stream, you'll be prioritized over other people that come in, basically. So, let's begin. I'll go a little bit, talk a little bit through it as we do Miss Venus. So we have a few elements to it. So like it says in the title, sorry, there's bones, shells, and crystals. Bones, shells, and crystals. So we have a chicken foot, we have stag antler, we have, oh, I forgot the other bones. Hold on. It's because I keep them in the little things that I got them in. I say things. Okay. So we have a sheep tooth. There will be more bones added, by the way, so I don't know how you feel about that. If you're not happy with that, you're welcome to just have shells and crystals for yours. We have fox tooth, and we have buffalo tooth at the moment. They're the bones that we have. So then we also have oyster shell. I forgot what that's called. Shiva shell, little heart of a Shiva shell. And we have the pointing shells. You can tell me the real names if you remember, always forgetting. Tons of shells here, but I'm not adding them all. We have, this is new, I added this today because I was very drawn to this. So these are our crystals here, as you can see. Some of them you may know the names. We have malachite, smoky quartz, clear quartz, things like that. Sunstone. So so what I do is I'm not doing every single thing for everyone's reading because it would take too long. So I'm just picking out certain ones for each person just to make the reading a little bit. It's a sample reading, like it says in the title. It's not going to be too long because it will just take too long of each person. And we want to give as much people a chance as possible. Yes, they are real bones. So they're all ethically sourced from the taxidermy store. I have a short of the taxidermy store on my YouTube, and it also has a link to their page. You can check that they are completely ethical. The animals were not killed for the bones. They're more like byproducts. So I do always have to say that on stream as well. But if you are vegan or anything like that, you're welcome to not have them in your reading, of course. Yeah, so I did toy with whether I wanted to do this for years, and I did toy with the idea of it because I was so drawn to it, but I was like, animal bones, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I'm really drawn to it. So they all have different meanings, and where they land on the casting mat means different things. You can't see the writing on the casting mat very clearly because I don't have the best pen for it yet, but like I said, the casting mat is a work in progress. We will progress with the casting mat as we go along. That should be flat. Don't know what's underneath that. It's not super flat. Move down a little bit so it's flatter. Right. So, what else was I going to say? So, in terms of the list as well, guys, and just in case you are new, so I go through the list in order as we have Miss Venus, Cherry, Samaya, like that. But if you're not here when I call your name, I may move on to the next person. So please do be mindful of that. If you're at the bottom of the list, then feel free to jump out. But if I do call you out and you're not here, we will move on. So just bear that in mind. So we have Miss Venus. Did you say there's anything you particularly wanted in the reading, or anything you did if there's anything you particularly don't want or particularly do want, let me know. But other than that, I will go with guidance. And Candy says lovely collection, thank you so much. And Akita says no, it's cool. Oh great, I'm glad that you feel me with that, because I'm just so drawn to it, and I think it's different and unique, and it's also honoring the animal as well. It's not wasteful. So just let me know, Miss Venus, if there's anything particularly you want or particularly you don't want. I'm going to choose some things, but if you disagree with me, you just say just before we begin. So I think I will do. So I choose 6 crystals for each person. I choose 6 crystals for each person, 3 bones and 3 shells, just to make the reading quicker, like I said. So if you disagree with anything I'm taking off the mat, please do say that. A blue rock with a heart. Is it this one? Oh, that one? Angel 101, hello and welcome. Anything love related. Okay. Okay. So I think that's great. I think that's great. So how we do the reading, guys, if you aren't new, of course, I kind of invented this reading. It's a combination of different things. You can get casting mats like this. I did copy the sections, like the names of the sections from a casting mat that already existed. But in terms of adding all these things together, I did kind of make this up, not make it up, but you know, it's everything is divinely guided that we do here. But what I mean is it's unique. You probably won't see anybody else do it. That's what I mean. You know, you saw it here first from Venus at Secret Frequencies. That's what I mean. So we got everything that we're going to use within the reading. If you were in person with me, I would either hold your hands before I do this, or I would let you hold the things and do it yourself if you would like to. You can do it either way. So I would hold your hand to get some energy from you, or I will what did I say? Or I will let you do it. So we hold the element just a little bit above the mat. We don't want it too high. We don't want to break anything. Oh, get that wand off. We don't want to break anything, so we just hold them very central, very close to, you know, if you could see, it's very central. And then we just kind of drop it like this. They didn't want to drop out of my hand. So we drop it like that. So, okay. And then we do the reading based on where things land, basically. So it's wherever they land, all the sections are different things, and it's where they land. So it is interesting. This has landed upright, which I find interesting because I had guidance today to add this to the collection. This shell has landed in this shell, which I find interesting. Also, what you will notice throughout the readings as I do them, the more central here is like the near future. Oh no, I have to try not to move anything because it's very important where it is. So here is like the near current or near future. Then we have the more distant future. Then of course towards the edge of the map we have the very distant future. And if anything falls off the map, if it goes all the way over there somewhere, it's not included in the reading. It's, you know, the universe is saying, no, that's not supposed to be in the reading. So let me check my list against your list quickly. Cherry, Samaya, Samina, Lisa and Kita Pooja, Tom, Candy Sid, Tanya, Kevin. Yes, correct. And then we can add Guided by Universe as well, which I will just do quickly if that's okay. Guided by Universe. Hello and welcome. It's nice to see you, by the way. Okay, so it's interesting. We do have a lot of things that are quite close to the center. So we have first of all, we look at the Shiva shell. So the Shiva shell is all about our third eye and our crown. It's our own spiritual gifts or spiritual connection and our connection to the angels, higher beings, maybe even starseed beings if you're that way inclined. And that's in your very center. It's like the here and now, basically. So you might be having a lot of activations in that area. You might be having a lot of guidance to work with that area or to be, you know, involved in that area of your life path. And it's a really positive omen about that. But with this shell, a lot of the time we go with where things point. So where the antlers point, where the shells point. And this is a shell. We go with the crevice. So where the crevice points. So the crevice is pointing to this section, which is the home and family section. So with this one, I feel like because it's the third eye, it's the spiritual self, it's pointing to home and family. It's telling me that right now, there might be a lot of importance in terms of your actual family. Like maybe your own spiritual work, your own spiritual gifts can help your family in some way. But it may even be about you have soul family members very close to you right now, because when this shell's pointing at the home and family, it can be linked a bit more to the soul family rather than the blood family, basically. But we do have the home. So home, don't forget, so family, of course, that's connection and everything like that, but home can be more root chakra links. It can be more the actual physical home, the mortgage, the rent, or whatever it is. So it could even link to your own abilities to manifest something that you're trying to manifest, whether it's like paying off a mortgage or moving house or something. It's a positive omen about manifestation within the home as well. So that's really nice, just a very nice one to get. Um, but we do have, I find this interesting. So sticking in the home and family section for a moment, we have the antler. Now, the antler is pointing at the Shiva shell. If we look, it's pointing at it. So it's kind of pointing like inwards, like to your current. It's like your future self pointing to your past. Future self pointing to your current self, and really highlighting the spiritual essence, the spiritual ability, this spiritual gift or manifestation that you're able to do. It's really pointing to that. And the antler often reflects or points. It's kind of saying there's something that needs to be focused on, gently focused on. So focused on, maybe it's not moderation, but you know what I mean. It's like taking slow and small steps, or having small conversations, building up to something a bit slowly. It's taking delicate care and attention to something. So your delicate care and attention, you could need some delicate care and attention to your home and family, but with the pointing to the Shiva shell, you could need more delicate care and attention to your spiritual self and your spiritual gifts, which could be an interesting point because of we do have the smoky quartz, and the smoky quartz points to something that we need clarity on, we're confused about, or there's a veil hiding something. But we will get to that in a moment. I think we should move to the health and well-being section because we have a lot of energy in here. You probably can't see it probably because they're hidden behind here. And where's our fox tooth as well? Did I not use the fox tooth? I feel like that's hiding somewhere. Is it? Did we use it? Let's see, we have chicken, we have sheep. Oh no, we didn't use it. Oh, no worries. I'm going crazy. Yeah, we have antler. Sorry. So we have the oyster shell. So the oyster shell is about what you deserve. The oyster shells, it's about believing in what you deserve, and it is about what you deserve in your life path, but it's in health and well-being. So there could be something about with your well-being. So it's kind of like the essence of, if you're feeling unworthy in some way, it could be impacting your health and well-being. So sometimes we have those, I wouldn't say a negative mindset because I don't really feel a negative mindset from Miss Venus, but if you are feeling like there's a lack in some way, like you don't fully believe that you deserve something in life, you don't fully understand like your capabilities, what you deserve, where you deserve to be, where you deserve to grow to, the relationships you deserve, whatever it is about what you're thinking about, any limitations on your self-belief of what you deserve could be impacting your health and well-being. And this is quite present and current and near future here. And it's interesting because we have the pointing shell. I call it the pointing shell because in a reading where the tip point is important, and the tip is pointing, it's in the oyster shell, and the tip is pointing to health and well-being. So it does feel like an area that needs to be looked at, whether it's your physical health, mental health, or just your overall kind of spiritual health and well-being. And it could just be this point of some kind of lack or limitation you're putting on yourself, or society or upbringing has put on you maybe. Um, is impacting you being at your full health and well-being that you could fully be to. It's not to say that you have issue with your health and well-being necessarily, but you may there may be some kind of lack or limitation that you can overcome, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you with anything you're going through right now, because the health stone, which is this stone, is also in here. So it really seems like, and this is more physical health, this stone, um as well, and it's landed in the health and well-being section. So it does really seem like there's some area of importance around health and well-being at the moment. And and it could link to, I know a lot of us in this community at the moment are on our kind of physical health journey where we're kind of trying to lose a bit of weight and things like that. So it could just link to that. It might be like, a positive omen that you deserve to get to your goals in that respect and to keep going. Maybe, keep going to the gym, keep eating those good foods. It could be that simple. It's not like, I wasn't really overly worry with it and be like, oh, the health stones in the health section, you must have a health problem as such. Could be as simple as keep going with your health journey. You're having support from the guides, support from the universe, really telling you keep going. But the stone you really wanted is also here. If you can, probably can't see it, but the stone you really wanted with the heart is also here. Now this stone points to something that really needs to be focused on. Something that really needs to be focused on. It needs focus. It needs attention. You might need a course. You might need to learn something new. You might need to train. You might need to educate yourself with books or videos or whatever it might be. It's something that needs focus and attention, that very Taurus energy, tunnel vision focus kind of energy. And it's actually landed on our squiggly little line here between finance and health. So the focus, even though it's usually linked to kind of a tunnel vision focus, it looks like there's two things you do need to focus on. So finance and wealth, health and well-being. There's a lot of guidance to focus and think about those things. And it's kind of very, like I said, present, near future kind of energy. So for finance and wealth, maybe there is some kind of course or training or learning you could do to grow that money, that abundance, that prosperity even more, maybe within your work perhaps, or whatever you might be doing on the side, maybe just a course to fine-tune some skills or something. And even I'm talking about courses, a course of a health routine or something like that, or a personal trainer or whatever that might be, because these seem to be the areas, health and finance, and the areas you're kind of being guided to really focus on right now. But we have we have the chicken foot. Now the chicken foot is in your finance and wealth, so that's nice, but pointing to your career and business. And the so it's a positive omen. It's an omen of luck. Sometimes even linked to prosperity. And when it's landing here in the finance, wealth, career, and business sections, it's between those sections. It's a really positive omen for more abundance, more money, or some kind of luck with money. Sometimes it's not that we get money. It can be that we save money on something. We get something, a really good deal on something. We get a reduction of some kind of something we're paying off or working towards. So, but really positive omen in the finance and wealth, career and business section. So that it's just a really nice one. But the claws of the chicken foot are protecting you. So it's like they're clawing anything that comes near you, basically. So it's a really nice positive omen. But in your case, they're clawing anything that gets in your way of making more money or making more networking connections or getting more clients, expanding your career and business. Anything that might get in your way is being clawed away by the chicken foot. So it's a really nice one for money, basically. Then we also have the sheep tooth, which is all of the teeth that come up, any teeth that you get in the reading, are about communication. So it does look like there's some kind of communication that's needed within the career and business section. There could be, it's usually the sheep tooth as well. It's usually linked to either spiritual things or innocence, like someone that's very innocent, or you've been very innocent. Maybe I wouldn't say naive, but I would say like innocent. Like maybe you've been innocent and missed something, like a little bit of an innocent mindset, and someone's had maybe not the greatest intentions and it needs to be talked through. Or it could be that you need to talk a bit more about spiritual things. So within your career and business, you might need to talk a little bit more about the spiritual sides of things within that. So just to think about that, because it tends to be talking about something like that, spiritual. So you've got the I forgot what this one's called, but I know bismuth. Sorry, it's bismuth. So it's the ladder, the one. Sorry, the staircase, the one that makes the staircase. So it's a really positive one to have in your career and business, because it's about going up the staircase, reaching the top of the staircase. But it can be something that it's saying you need to put steps in. So when we talk about making baby steps or making steps towards our dreams and goals, it can be that as well. You're being called to make more steps to get higher, to elevate to a higher level, to progress to a higher level. But particularly this falling upright in its pyramid form is a very positive omen. So it is an omen of actually not just that you need to try to make the steps, but that you will, and that you will climb to the top in some way, shape, or form. And it's just being affirmed by the sunstone, because the sunstone is a very abundant stone. It's a very abundant stone, and it can point to abundance of whichever section it's in. So, for example, it is abundance, but if it's in the social and friends section, it might be an abundance of meeting new friends, meeting new people. Do you know what I mean? So with it being in the career and business section and being kind of stuck, attached to our bismuth, it's giving this more energy. It's like really positive. Your health, your finance and wealth seems super positive, so that's good. But we did want to look at love. So, well, actually, we'll look at the smoky quartz first. So this is social and friendships, and this is love and partnerships. So at the moment in social and friendships, there's something hidden. Someone might be hiding something from you, or it might just be that there's confusion. It could be a misunderstanding. It's not always like a deception, but it can be a deception. It can be a deception. It can be a lie or something, but it can be just a misunderstanding or confusion within social and friendships. So it seems like this again, like kind of the truth energy. Communication might be important to uncover what this is, because there's something that's not giving you the best clarity in the social and friendship setting at the moment. Something going on. Could be behind your back, but could be innocent, like the confusion and misunderstanding as well. But just maybe be mindful of that, because that's very current as well. But we're spreading out a little bit here to a slightly more distant future. But we have the love stone is actually in the love and partnership section, which is a highly positive omen. So all we can say is, if we have a love stone in this reading, we want it to land in this section. So it's just a really positive omen for the relationship. But it is looking like it's in our near to distant future. It's like kind of between the near and distant, which doesn't necessarily mean you'll only meet that person at that time, because I know you're kind of thinking about meeting them. That could be when you get into the relationship, perhaps. So just think about that. Don't be too disheartened. It's a really positive place to have the love stone land. So that was Miss Venus. Let me just read the comments. Sarah, hello, welcome. Let's see. Miss Venus says, lots of activations keeping me up at night. Oh no. The shell looks like a heart. Yes, it's shaped into a heart. It's carved, but it is a shell, but it's carved into a heart. Kevin says, I have to go to sleep soon. I will join another stream. It's an interesting stream. Yes, I really hope to see you soon. I wanted to do an early one today, but I just couldn't. Miss Venus says, interesting. I don't have anything health related at the moment, except for my sleep cycle, but I think it may also be spiritual related. Yeah, and it could simply be about sleep. It could be about sleep, or it could be positive omen of your guide saying stick with this health routine. Don't lose focus on the health. I've been getting more client sessions lately, so I've been busy, and that's more money. So yeah, and that's good. The one hiding from the world. Oh, yeah. So maybe it's you being hidden. It could be that. Sarah says not saw this kind of reading before. Yeah, I kind of invented it, so I think no one has really seen this before. But I will add you to the list. Miss Venus says, I kind of don't want to hang out with people because right now I'm focused. Okay, so this could be you being a hermit then. You might be the hidden thing. So that makes sense. Yeah, Sarah, I can add you to the list. I don't think we'll get to you today, just to say, but I don't have much time, so I'm going to get to the next one now. So do we have Cherry with us? But I've added you. I have quite a list. So you'll be on priority next time. I'm going to do a lot of this type of reading. So do we have Cherry? Let me get everything else back together. Well, I love to read your comments about your reading, though, and anything you think. It's always nice to talk about it because, like Miss Venus there, kind of uncovering what this might be. Maybe it's not confusion. Maybe it is Miss Venus being in hermit energy. So crystals. So Cherry, if there's anything you particularly do or don't want, please let me know. But that's what we have. Our crystals, bones, and shells. So if anything particularly you don't want, let me know. But if I can just go with guidance, let me know as well. And thank you for the likes, guys. I greatly appreciate that. I'm loving this type of stream, and I'm going to keep going with the mat, and I promise to keep going with this. So you will definitely get a reading at some point, and flower readings are coming back next month as well. Yeah, they are quite detailed, so it is taking me a while. I do apologise for that. I am taking a while with each person here. Cherry says, choose please anything. Yeah, okay, that's great. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Okay. So let's go ahead then. So I will choose. Let's have fox tooth for this one. But I'm really loving these. I choose these for most. So let's just take those away. Let's have. So I've got 7 there. Let's take away this one. Okay. Pretty much choosing those 3 for everybody because I really love them. So let's see how we go with this. So this is for Cherry. Okay. So Cherry. So let's see, where do we want to begin here? Let's go with this home and family section has quite a bit in here. So let's go with home and family first. This is for Cherry. So we have the fox tooth. So the fox tooth, so like I said, the teeth always relate to something that it's communication and self-expression. So not just communication, it can be self-expression as well. But the fox is usually it's vulnerability, or maybe someone's put you down, maybe someone's treated you bad for no reason. It's a lot of the time with the fox tooth, it's about something where you've been, it's almost like you're misunderstood. Someone might be putting you down in a way, but it's not your fault. It's with the fox tooth, it's like you're not at fault for it. It's very uncalled for. It's the phrase I'm looking for, I think. So in home and family, there might be something to talk about. If someone has put something on you that's very uncalled for, you might need to discuss this, talk this through. Any vulnerabilities that need talking through, or anything to do with, like I said, being put down for something you haven't done, maybe blamed for something you haven't done even, made to feel bad, chased away. If you can be chased away from something, and that's in home and family. So it could link to any family members where there's been an issue like that, or anything within the home. So sometimes we live with housemates, or or partners or something, and it could be something like that. Maybe it's an issue in the partnership where they've been putting you down for no reason, or blaming you, or something like that. But it needs discussing, basically. So it's being called out in the reading because it needs discussing. But yeah, but like I said, the further away we get from the center of the mat, the more distant future this is. So if it doesn't resonate, it might be a guidance to keep a lookout for this. Make sure you're speaking up. If this does happen, make sure you're speaking up, but you're having a bit of pre-warning that this might happen if it hasn't happened already. So we have the Shiva shower. And our pointing shell is pointing to the Shiva shell. And we could go a step further and say it's also pointing to the antler, but we'll look at the antler separately. So the Shiva shell, so the pointing shell is pointing to the Shiva shell, which is in the home and family. So it's telling us that this is kind of something that does need our attention. So it's your third eye, your throat chakra, your own kind of spiritual gifts. It can be your intuition, It might be saying to you, trust your intuition about something to do with home and family that's coming up. So or any messages you get from your guides, particularly relating to home or family, because it can be really important. For example, if we're buying a home, we think we love the home, but for some reason our intuition is telling us not to buy it. It can be something like that. Or if we're thinking of moving in with someone, moving out, um, you know, anything to do with the home. Even it could be so it can be physical things, like I said, moving in or out of like a buying a home, but it can be like inviting someone to come live with you or something like that, trusting your intuition, trusting what your guides say about the home and family as well. So it could be about the family. You could be getting a strong intuition that certain family members doing something or anything like that. Don't discard any intuition you have towards home or family at this time, because you're going to get kind of an important message regarding that. So you can't overlook that. It's really being pointed out to you, so be mindful for that. Now we have our chicken foot, which is in our spirit and self. Our spirit and self. So it is a good look, positive omen, positive message. And the claws, they they attack, basically. They grasp, they remove with their strong claw talons, anything that is coming in your way, anything that's going to come in your way, anything that's going to um to try to attack you, basically. It's protection. So it's good luck and protection, basically, in your spirit and self. So your higher self, your spiritual self, your subconscious, things like that. Could be subconscious worries and fears that you're going to be protected from, released from you. But good luck and protection around your spirit, your higher self, and everything like that. And if you're doing any work specifically on yourself, you're doing any healing work, or you're working with your own spiritual gifts, or your own spiritual gifts, you're having protection. It's a good luck omen around that, and protection. So if you are thinking, sometimes we want to cast spells or we want to do astral projection, but we're scared because we don't want to not be protected. We don't want to get attachments. You're being protected at this time, so that is really positive. Just a positive omen, basically, and where that lands. So it could also be a protection around, it could like mental health as well. If you're having like stresses, anxieties, anything like that, it can be protection around that or removal of that. But then we have the health and wellbeing section itself. So we have the love stone in the health and wellbeing section. So there's a really positive omen of love coming to you. That's going to be really good for your health and well-being. So this person, this connection, this love energy, it's not something that, it's going to be really positive, basically, really supportive, really in tune. It's not going to be someone who is bad for your mental health, someone who gives you stresses, anxieties, worries, fears. They're going to be a really positive person towards your health and well-being. So maybe if you are going through any health issues or there's anything that of concern there, they could be a support system for that, and they're not going to bring you down in your mental energy, basically. So it's a really positive omen about that love connection. But it's interesting because you're getting the quartz stone right next, touching this one. So the section they land in, and if they're touching, is both important. So we have the clarity, so the stone of clarity, the clear quartz, in your health and well-being. So it could say that something regarding your health and well-being, you're going to get clarity on it. So you could like have sometimes we have these symptoms and we keep going to the doctors and they don't really know what's wrong. You could be finding out. So if you're all looking to find, you're like, oh, what is this pain in my knee? They're going to finally give you the right diagnosis. Or you're going to finally get the right medication, or you're going to finally find the right therapist. It could be something like that if you're really on a path like that. But if you're not, it could just be clarity in general about so maybe something that some of us think, oh, I've realized that when I go for a walk in the morning, I'm my mental health really improves, I'm so much better. Or I've realized that when I cycle to work instead of driving, my physical health is better. It's like clarity around something. Or I've realized that I prefer eating these foods because they make me feel better. It's clarity around health and well-being in some way. But we can't ignore that it's touching the love stone. So I do feel like it's a little bit more related to the love path than the health and well-being. And I feel like it's getting clarity on who this person is. So you're going to get clarity on who this person is coming into your life. And it seems pretty soon. You could say current chapter, near future. You really could say current chapter with how close it is. So then we didn't look at the stag, the antler. So um, so we're going from the home and family with it, but it's pointing to the chicken foot. So it's always about something that we need to be quite gentle about, maybe taking small steps, maybe having, easing into some conversation, um, being gentle and kind with ourselves about something. But it's pointing away from the home and family, and it's pointing more to this, which is in the spirit and self section. So there could be something, it could be that you need to be more kind to yourself. It could be that you have negative inner thoughts about yourself sometimes, like a bit of low self-esteem going on. So you need to be a lot more positive, and just kind of, start to say nice things about yourself. Start to look in the mirror and say, I'm great, I'm doing well, this good luck is coming to me, Just more positive affirmations about yourself, I'd probably say, since we are kind of pointing into the spirit and self section rarely as we point to this. So more luck, more positivity comes into your life when you're being kind to yourself, being gentle with yourself. But then we have the bismuth in your finance and wealth section, but it's a little bit on the line here to the health and well-being. So it could be saying that your where you get wealth, where you get finance, where you're making money, could be, sometimes it's pointing to the certain section because it's like you could be involved in this. So health and well-being could be part of your work path. Maybe you work in, it could be anything from like nursing, social care, holistic healing, like Reiki and things like that. Anything like that could be being guided to that. It might be why it's pointing here, but it could also be pointing here to say the more positive your mindset is, the more better your mental health and your physical health are, the more money you can make. So it's kind of like saying you'll have more time, more energy, you'll be more able to do things, to achieve things. More time and energy really comes from being really good enough physical and mental health. So your finance and wealth could really improve if you focus on these things. But also it's about things we need to take steps on. So you do need to take some steps in finance and wealth. It seems like there are some steps to be taken. Now it could be, being guided to take baby steps towards your dreams. It's not a time to be still. It is a time to definitely take some kind of movement, even if it's baby steps. You have to make some kind of movement towards your goals, dreams, and desires now. You can't leave it. You can't be in stagnant energy basically. And it could even be moving up the ladder in some way, in some business with that. Then we have in our career and business, which is kind of linked to our finance and wealth. So don't forget that the closer it is to the center, the more near future. So in near future, you have confusion, hesitation, maybe a deception, something that's hidden. So like I said, hidden. So the veil could be simply innocent, like you're just confused, you're just misunderstood. But the veil could be someone lying to you, something like that. You need to get clarity on something in order to progress in your career and business. So maybe that's why the smoky quartz is closer to the center than this, because first you need to get your clarity. Something you're unclear about in your career and business. Maybe it's just you don't know the direction to go to. You're not super sure about what you want to do with your life yet, or not necessarily what you want to do with your life yet, but what you want to do next, maybe. So then we have this is more like a mental health kind of energy, self-esteem, self-confidence, mental health. Not kind of opposite to our health stone there, physical health. So we have like the kind of mental health energy, self-esteem, and all of those things. If you're increasing, so it does kind of link to what the antler was saying, because it's saying in your career and business, you can progress more if you are believing in yourself, believing in your self-worth, believing in your value. It's a little bit on the line here. So it could be as well social and friendships. Could suggest that being more confident, having more self-esteem and more self-confidence and things like that, and improved mental health and clarity can help with your social and friendships as well, possibly because it's on that line. And the oyster as well is also on the line between these two things, career and business, social and friendships. Or some kind of, is it friendships? Or, yeah, friendships. So this is the oyster shell is about what we deserve. So it could be that you don't fully believe that you deserve. You know, we have dreams and desires, but we don't always think we can get there in career and business. And also sometimes we might not feel as super worthy in our social circles and our social abilities and our social um, just endeavors, networking maybe. So you are worthy. You are worthy of getting any social networking, friendships, anything like that that you're kind of seeking. You are worthy, you are good enough, and you are worthy enough to progress in your career and business. The oyster shell is all about what you deserve, believing in what you deserve, and it's pointing to these two areas. So that's nice for you. If we up this self-confidence a little bit, perhaps, then in your social and friendships, you're getting the it's not a bloodstone, but I'm going to call it that. Call it that. It's the grounding kind of stone. So it's kind of coming down to earth, being really within reality, very physical, material things. So you could have a friend, a really close, positive friend that's really going to help ground you, keep you grounded, and things like that. So a really important partnership. So I feel like it does link to the oyster about really believing in what you deserve and getting what you deserve. Um, you know, in terms of friendship, it seems like a really positive friendship coming. And you do have to believe that, you know, this is a really great person for you. This is part of your soul family, and you deserve to meet your soul family. You deserve to connect with them. You deserve to have those connections. And this positive person is going to come in. And yes, it's the more distant future, but they're really going to ground you, be your rock maybe. They might even help because this is root chakra. It's like home, money, finance, safety, security. You might even find that there's some kind of thing going on. I don't know necessarily if you would live with them as such, but they might help with home and or work in some way even. Maybe they help to get you a job or something, because social and friendships can be networking as well. So maybe they help to get you a job, or they could just be a rock. They could just really keep you grounded, really positive person. And that's for Cherry. So I hope you enjoy that. I can't believe how long these are taking me. I think I might have time to do one more. Let me read the comments. So we have Miss Venus, you're very welcome, of course. Thank you for the updated list. Okay, Pooja and Kevin will join another time, that's great. Sadia, hello, I'm very well, I hope you are well. If you haven't liked the live stream, please do. Let's get to 20 likes. Thank you, Miss Venus. Yes, I greatly appreciate that, because guys, even if you don't get your reading today, the more likes I get on the video, the more I come back with that type of reading, because I think, okay, people like it, people want it, I'll keep doing it. So you're more likely to get a reading if the video has more likes. So if you realise you haven't liked it yet, please do so. Leela, hello and welcome. Oh, Leela, you were on priority from yesterday. No, you didn't miss it. I didn't get to you. I didn't have time to get to you. So we can do Leela now. You were supposed to be after Cherry anyway, and you were on priority from yesterday. So we will do that now. So we have Miss Venus, Cherry, and we will do Leela. This might be the last one we get to, but we may get to Samaya afterwards. Let me just see how we go. Oh, thank you, Miss Venus. Yes, I greatly appreciate that. Cherry Blossom says, yes, you're right. I need to do more positive affirmations. Miss Venus says, it's pretty full, Sadia, but can still be added to the list. Stick around in case other people on the list are not here. I'll add Sadia to the end of this one. And like I said, I'll just keep this as a priority list. Shannon, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to the stream. So it may not make it to you today, but I'll put you on priority for the next stream. It's really nice to see you. It's really nice to see new people. I'm Venus. This is Secret Frequencies, and I do many different types of readings like this all of the time. Cherry Blossom, you're very welcome. Sadia, you're welcome. Asleela, you're welcome. So yes, I do many different types of readings like this all of the time. And we will have this coming up a lot more. So if you do like the video, I will come back with more of this. So, okay. So we'll get on to Asleela then. So if there's anything particularly that you don't want in your reading, please let me know now. So we have like fox tooth, buffalo tooth, antler, chicken foot. We have the crystals over there. If you're particularly drawn to one or particularly drawn against one, let me know. But otherwise, I'll be choosing intuitively just to help the reading go a bit quicker, basically. Because we are running out of time. I should stop in like 10 minutes, really, but hopefully we get a bit of extra time to just finish this one more. Thank you, Miss Venus. Yeah, I would greatly appreciate that. I will keep coming back with it if we get more likes. I really appreciate that. Oh, maybe I've moved that a little bit. Okay, so Leela, anything you particularly do want or don't want, please let me know, or I will just go intuitively with that and we will begin. Cherry Blossom says it really resonated. Amazing, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay, let's go intuitively with that then. Esther, I hope you're here. Oh, general. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I will choose these three as always. I think I'm really drawn to them for you guys today. Let's do Buffalo Tooth in this one, along with those two. Mix it up just a little bit. Let's do this one, this one, this one. 3, 4, 5, and 6. I know I'm kind of drawn to similar ones for each person today, but it just happens sometimes. Just really drawn to those. So we hold them above the mat. Focus on the person, of course, because they're not here to hold it themselves. And we drop them. Okay. Okay. That's quite interesting. So we have the oyster shells landed upside down. It has a few of them inside it. So we will we'll put that back down in a moment, but we'll just have to make sure we talk about these. So I'll just put it that way for now. It's important where they land and how they land, but we'll just have to look at these individually as well. So let's go with this one first because it's, but do bear in mind, so as I'm reading Leela, the closest to the middle is more current, more distant near future, and then more distant future, just a further distant future as we get out to the edge of the map, basically. So the chicken foot will go with first because it's a good look, positive omen message. If you can see it, it's just behind the oyster shell here. But it's, if we look at it, let's put the oyster shell back where it actually landed. This one, so it begins in our finance and wealth, but it points out here to our advice and guidance. So it's a really positive omen and good luck for your finance and wealth, and it is protection as well. It's kind of like a removal of anything that might get in your way. That's what the talons represent. So it's a good, positive omen for finance and wealth, but advice and guidance. So you might need some advice and guidance on the financial and wealth path. You might need like a mentor or someone to help you. Don't feel like you have to do everything to make money on your own. You might need to do a course or something like that. You need some kind of advice and guidance to progress further along on your finance and wealth path. But the finance and the abundant energy is available to you. So you have abundant energy available to you within your reach, and you are having some level of spiritual protection to remove anything that might get in your way financially, basically. But you do need to seek help. You can't do it all on your own, is basically what it's saying. You need some kind of advice, guidance, help, mentor, anything that it might be. So do think about that, because you do have a possibility with abundance. So let's keep in the the finance and wealth section at the moment. So we have finance and wealth and career and business. So let's keep in those two sections at the moment since we are here. So we have the Mookaite, which is our Yellowstone, which is it's mental health, it's self-esteem, self-value, self-worth, self-confidence, and things like that. So you may be being held back in some way. in that if you're storing anxieties or you have low self-esteem, it might be holding you back in your finance and wealth. But equally, if you have a lot of self-confidence, if you can put yourself out there, if you can project your energy really strongly out there, that's going to help you in your finance and wealth. So your the confidence that you put out there, the belief you put in yourself, is very important. And that's a very generic message in the spiritual community, a kind of, it's just kind of like putting that positive energy out there, and other people will receive it. But the reading's really affirming that you have that ability. It's within your reach. Not everybody unfortunately has the ability at every point in their life to make abundance. Some people do have to go through struggles and issues and challenges at times. So it's positive that you're getting that. But the struggle, issue, or challenge could be if there is anxieties to release, if there is any self-esteem to work on, basically. That it could be a bit of a block. It's something to think about in that section. Then there is so you have the sunstone. The sunstone is the abundance stone, but depending which section it lands in. So if it lands in like love and partnerships, we're looking at abundance of love. But it's in career and business, so it's more like, if it's in finance and wealth, it's more like abundance, like money, like you're going to, more money coming to you, if that makes sense. But when it's in career and business, it could be not necessarily like the money's kind of there for you, like it's ready. It's more about opportunities to get that. So when we're looking at career and business, we're not really looking at, some people in finance and wealth, they might win something, they might have unexpected gains in some way, or something comes to them positively that they can make money from quite simply. But this is more like abundance of opportunities coming to you. You might still have to seek those opportunities, you might still have to go for them, put some effort and work in, but abundance of opportunities and abundance of finance is available to you. Now we have the antler. We are going in the career and business section, but it's pointing to our chicken foot. So it's about something we need to focus on gently, or discuss gently, or think about very gently. It's like small steps. It's being very kind, being very courteous, not rushing, but it's still about kind of getting to the point, but very slowly and gradually. And you still have the point in mind, but slowly and gradually. So if it's in career and business, it's pointing kind of down towards our current self. So it's almost like kind of saying to yourself, be kind to yourself, don't rush things, take the small steps, but think about me, because here is the future you. The future you is where the sunstone is, with all of these opportunities. It's almost like the future you is saying, be courteous, be gentle, be kind to yourself, and you'll get here. You will get here. Just maybe take the small steps, like we speak about a lot. The small baby steps that are going to eventually get you to this really positive, abundant opportunity. But it's also pointing to our chicken foot. So this is really good for our career and business section for even though there might be something to work on the solar plexus, or anxieties, or fears, doubts, self-esteem, anything like that. There might be something to work on there, yes. But we have abundance, you'll get there if you're very gentle with yourself, taking the small steps. And we're pointing to our good luck, positive omen. So it could even be positive good luck omen. Well, it is good luck, positive omen in abundance, because it's in the finance and wealth section. So that's good, really nice. Nice stones to have here if we work on whatever this is. And also, your bismuth landed upright. We want it upright, rarely. Upright's the best way to get it. It's not negative to get it another way, but it's rarely positive to get it this way. So it's in between our health and well-being and our finance and wealth. And it's pointing up. So this is an upward trajectory in health and wellness. So if you are particularly down in your health and well-being, your own physical health or mental health, there's an upward trajectory coming. So that's really, really positive. It looks like a bit more near future, like it's not quite distant, it's kind of you can gauge it from this line. But upward trajectory coming in your health and well-being, upward trajectory coming in your finance and wealth. So it's a really positive one to get, but it can also talk about the steps needed to be taken. So it's similar to this, where it's saying, you know, there still might be some steps that you need to take, some effort that you need to put in, but you are getting, it's a very positive omen of getting to the top of the mountain, you know? So let's just look, before we move on to the oyster, let's just look here, because we might miss this out if we might forget about this. So in your spirit and self, your spirit and self is something you really have to pay attention to. Oh, sorry, you can't even see that stone. I'll push it over a little bit, but this one landed here. So it landed more in the corner. So spirit and self is something you really need to focus and put your attention to. So if you do have spiritual practices or any kind of self-love, self-care, any practices that are like good for your mental health, your spiritual health, your subconscious mind, you know, things like that, you really need to put focus on. This stone is talking about what you might need to progress in more in terms of learning, so taking a course, studying, anything like that, or something you need to progress on more in terms of focusing on. So you need to, something you need to really focus on is your spirit and your self, your higher self, your subconscious self, but your spiritual self specifically. So don't put off those meditation practices if you have any, or any spiritual practice that you have personally yourself, praying, meditating, yoga, whatever it might be, any self-care. Do not put it off. Do not put it off. Make sure you're focusing on it. And yeah, courses. So if you do, if you seek anything like Reiki, you know, it could be in terms of getting Reiki from other people, but could also be doing courses yourself in order to improve your spiritual self, or improve your could be mental health a little bit, because the subconscious mind comes up a bit, but it's more spiritual. So if there is any courses you've been thinking about doing, or retreats you've been thinking about going on, or any things you've been thinking about getting, like Reiki, cleanses, anything like that, you really should focus on that at the moment. But let's look. So our oyster is the things that we deserve, the things that we, yeah, it's like what you deserve in your life that maybe you're not quite looking at, if that makes sense. So the oyster landed between health and well-being and home and family. So in terms of home and family, it could be that you know, if you haven't built your home yet, in terms of, you know, having the partner, having the children if you want them, you know, having the home of your dreams kind of energy. It could be that you don't feel like you deserve that. You might, you know, this low self-esteem energy, maybe it comes in. You might not fully believe that you deserve your dreams and desires and home and family, but this is kind of telling you that you do. And also in your health and well-being as well, you know, you might be one of those people who thinks like, I was just meant to have this issue, or have, you know, I'm not, you know, as able as other people or anything like that. It's that kind of energy of kind of maybe putting yourself down a little bit. You deserve more. You deserve more. So particularly looking at like the home and family as well, maybe deserving more than you think you deserve. But it's interesting because you're getting confusion, you're getting some kind of veil, something hidden in the home and family, but you're getting clarity in the health and well-being. So that's really nice. So well, it's interesting the balance there, but clarity in health and well-being can be, you know, if you're seeking kind of like treatment in some way, whether it's like holistic treatment, like Reiki or cleanses, like we spoke about here, or whether it's, you know, seeking a certain type of medication or a certain type of treatment for something health related, health, mental health, anything like that. You could be getting clarity around that, finding the right medication, finding the right therapist, finding the right diet plan for you, finding the right exercise regime, you know, it could be anything like that. Clarity in health and well-being. And also our pointing shell is pointing at that as well. So the clarity around the health and well-being is very important. So when this comes, do really take it into your stride. As well, the unclear thing, something that's hidden, is in home and family. So it could simply be, you know, if you haven't found that partner yet, or that home, it could simply be that the veil will be lifted, you will realise, or the veil needs to be lifted so you can realise who that person is, or something like that, you know, like maybe that's the thing that's hidden. but it can be confusion, misunderstandings. It can even be lies and deceit and something being hidden from you. So I would say be a bit mindful in terms of home and family. So this can be family like family that you're building yourself, like with a partner, or it can be family like, you know, your greater family, like your mother, father, siblings, you know, things like that. So there could be lies and deceit or misunderstandings or miscommunication with the family. So think about that and be mindful of that. We have the buffalo tooth, which is, there's a lot of strength in this. It's strong conversation, standing up for what we believe in. So when this, whatever this is unveiled and does become clear, don't sit on the fence. Don't be a mediator. You need to stand up for what you believe in. You need to really stand for what you believe in, and don't. I wouldn't say like be aggressive or be super like you know, just shout or anything, but don't sit back. Basically, not sitting back. But it is linked to a little bit of health and well-being as well. So it could be if you're bottling feelings up here, if this is bottling feelings up about something to do with the family or home, any conflicts or anything that's happened, if you're bottling anything up, it could really be an issue. If you don't get it out and discuss it, like the buffalo tooth is telling you need to, could impact your health and well-being. That's why the buffalo tooth is pointing to the health and well-being. Because if this is you bottling something up, you need to talk about it. You need to be strong and talk about the things that are bothering you. Otherwise, you're going to just bottle it up, and it's going to affect you. You know, energetically, emotionally, mentally, even. So, and you do deserve this. So you deserve positivity in home and family. You deserve positivity in your health and well-being. So do not think that you don't. Then we have the Shiva shell, last but not least. This is your clarity of third eye and crown chakra. So it shows that your crown, so your third eye is your own psychic gifts, and your crown chakra is, of course, your link to your guides and angels and higher self and all of those things. So it looks quite nice that it's in home and family. It could be that, you know, maybe when this is in here in home and family, it might be more about finding your soul family. So you might be finding someone from your soul family in this more distant future here. But we have to look where the crevice points on the shell, and it's pointing to the spirit and self and this stone. So you do really have to think about this. Whatever this is, if it's that you need Reiki or you need a cleanse, or whether it's you need to do a course in something that's related to spirituality, you need to pray more, you need to meditate more, whatever that is, it seems like you're really being guided to it, okay? And it could help open up this soul family connection that you might be looking for, which could be a partner who you spend your life with, or could be friends, you know, something like that. Soul family. So that was for Eflila. So let me just read the comments here. I don't know if I have to go yet, so just bear with me. I'm kind of waiting on a message to know. So let me just read here. Samina says, Sweet Venus, you are blessed with amazing intuitive abilities. Never seen such an interesting reading before. Thank you so much. I really appreciate comments like that. Yeah, it did take me some time to kind of plan how I would do this reading, and, you know, I'm still feeling intuitively into more meanings for more different, like, shells, bones, crystals. So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ascending Universal Butterfly, hello and welcome. So I am Venus, this is Secret Frequencies, and I do readings like this all the time. We do a lot of crystal ball, pendulum, tarot, things like that. Aura reading, things like that. So it's really nice to have new people. It's really nice to see you. So I will put you on the list. It's a very long list, and we will not make it to you today. But I will put you on here because if you're in the next stream, anyone on the list I'll prioritize. So if we have you know, a lot of new people, but you come back in, you'll be prioritized over the new people because you waited in this stream. So here's the list. It is quite long. I do apologize about that. So we'll see if we can get to Samaya, if Samaya's still here, but I do have to check if I have to go. And yeah, they are general readings. These are general. So you are added, but yeah, might have to be on the next stream. Please do bear that in mind. But it's really lovely to have you. There's going to be a crystal ball over the next few days, so you're very welcome to join on to that. But yeah, I'll just have to check. Esther says 100% resonates. Very helpful reading. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Ankita, that was for S. Leela. So, I don't know where you are on the list, Ankita. Oh yeah, you're Samaya, Samina, Lisa, Ankita. So Samaya says here. Bear with me one moment. I just have to check if I have to go. Yeah. Buffer. Just wait a moment. If I buffer, it's just because I had to jump off this tab for a moment. So bear with me. Okay. Not 100% if I do have to leave. I don't have a reply to the message yet. So I don't have a reply to the message yet. So what we'll do. Oh, I'm not charging my phone. What a silly Venus. Right. Okay. So I think we will maybe just go into Samaya since I'm not getting a reply here. So yeah, I mean I'll stay on until I get the reply. So let's see if we can do Samaya. I'll try and be a little bit quicker. I know I'm taking a while here. So we can't guarantee it'll be mainly on Korea because it all depends on where things land. And they land where they need to land and what they want me to tell you about. So we'll see, but we'll try. So we will include that soon because it's more, home. It's more like career grounding. This can be so. That one also, they can link to like abundance and home a little bit. So we'll do those. Let's see, that's 5. We'll do those. Now let's see. We'll also do. Let's do this one as well, just in case there is anything you need to focus on. In regards to career, that might be important. So I'm sorry if I knocked the phone. I do apologise for that. What do we want? Let's do Foxtooth. And of course these two. I've been doing these two for everyone. I do apologise, but I just feel drawn to that. So yeah, if there's anything you particularly don't want in your reading, you're very welcome to say. If there's anything you rarely do want or rarely don't want, I will also go with your guidance as well. So let's choose for your shells. I'm going to go with two pointing shells. So let's leave the oyster for now. Has enough oyster for today. So let's go with the pointing shells and the Shiva shell for Samaya. Sorry, just replying to a message there. I do apologise for that. So 2 pointing shells, a Shiva shell, our chicken foot, antler, fox, tooth, and our 6 crystals. Yes, 6 crystals. So, focusing on Samaya, we want to drop them with intention. Where does that one want to go? There we are. Okay, interesting. So both of our pointing shells are pointing the same way. Very interesting. Let me just reply to this message. I'm so sorry. Right, okay. So both our pointing shells and our chicken foot are all pointing to the same point. So that's really interesting. And we have our Shiva shell on the dividing line between these two sections. So just a reminder, the more central, the more current, and then as we head out, it's like near future and distant future. So just bear that in mind as we go through the reading. So I want to look at these first because they interest me the most. That keeps moving over. I need to even maybe more that way. So they interest me the most. So that our pointing shells and our chicken foot they're in the social and friendship section, but they're all pointing to the love and partnership section. And we also have the Shiva shell. So that's really interesting. To me, this point, so we have the good luck, omen, and protection. So good luck and protection, removing anything that might get in your way. Our third eye and crown, so our own spiritual gifts and abilities or intuition, and our connection to our guides, and our pointing shells to tell us where we really need to focus. And we always look at where the crevice of the Shiva shell points, which is in between both of these things. So this is all in social and friendships, love and partnerships. And everything's going to this love and partnership section. So it seems like a soul family connection, So it could be a twin flame or a soulmate or something like that. And you're really being guided. You might feel like a great friendship with this person, but they are your very suitable kind of life partner energy kind of thing going on there. There's great protection around this connection. There's good luck in this connection, and you are spiritually connected. There's a strong spiritual connection going on there, so that's really nice in your love. Um, it seems like you probably do already know this person with how close this is to the center, but if you didn't, I would say there's already some connection with them. Maybe they're a friend, acquaintance, and they're in social and friendship. That's like this friend or acquaintance is becoming into the partnership. That's kind of how I would read it if you didn't already know them. But it seems like you might already know them based on the position of the Shiva shell. So that's all we'll say about that one. But it's really positive omen for that relationship. It's like really positive, strong, spiritual. And sometimes the spiritual can be, it's twin flame or karmic. So there can be issues, but it's overall it's positive and good luck and protection with that. So our fox tooth is on the line between our health and well-being and the finance and wealth. So fox tooth can be about vulnerability. It can be about vulnerability if you've been bullied, if you've been put down by someone, if you've been blamed for something that wasn't your fault. The fox tooth can often come up for things like that, and that might be, or it might be you're going to be blamed for something, or you're going to be bullied or something like that. Maybe someone's going to try to like overpower you in some way, like a bit of an ego kind of person, in either well, maybe in the financial wealth section, so it could be at work, it could be a work related person, but like it's affecting the health and well-being. So the teeth always talk about something that we need to, it's either um it's either communication or self-expression. So you might need to communicate about these things. You might need to make sure you are you know open to talking about these things. So if someone is putting the blame on you for something you haven't done, if someone is utilizing your vulnerabilities or putting you down in any way, you really do need to discuss it. Make sure you're talking openly, even if it's not to that person. It seems like it needs to be discussed in some way. It could affect your health and well-being or your finance or wealth. If you don't keep your communication and self-expression in a good level. So it's not something to be quiet about, basically. But it could be someone at work because it's in that finance and wealth section. But yeah, with it being in a health and well-being, I would say it's important to talk about whenever this happens, even if you're just getting help or advice from a friend, that kind of thing. So we also have the antler, which is in our health and starts in our health and well-being section, but points to advice and guidance. So health and well-being, of course, is about physical health, but also our mental health, our well-being, things like that. If it's pointing to our advice and guidance section, you can't really see that, but that's the advice and guidance section. Um, it's pointing there. You might need some advice and guidance on your health and well-being journey. So don't feel like you have to do everything alone. If you need like a personal trainer or someone to, talk to about meal plans, or, if you need to go to the doctor to discuss any symptoms that you've got, or you need to seek any holistic type of healing, like I say, like Reiki, sound healing, whatever it might be, your mental well-being as well. If you do need to talk to a therapist, that's fine. It's something to be gentle about, to take gentle steps in, but it's definitely something it's something to not do alone. So if you do feel like you have any symptoms or you're feeling low or anything like that, again, it's like, don't do this alone. Be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, take the steps, but you might need someone to help you. So you might need, whatever it is, if it's a therapist, if it's like someone caster who does a cleanse or something like that, but don't be afraid to get help, basically, advice and guidance. But we have the health and well-being here with our focus. So something that does really need or will need in the future, a lot of focus on it. So it does seem like more focus coming in to the health and well-being section. So you might need to focus a little bit more on your physical health, whether that's eating better, sleeping at the right times, exercising a bit more, or whether that's doing your self-care things that really help you with self-care, that help you to progress with your mental health, basically. Don't lose your focus in that. Don't put your own self-care to the side, basically. Really make sure you're keeping focus on that area. Clarity here in the spirit and self. So you might be getting some clarity on your spiritual journey, spiritual path, or something from your subconscious. Sometimes we hold emotions, thoughts, ideas, whatever it might be, in our subconscious. They may be coming to the conscious, so that's really nice. But also, you might be getting clarity on your spiritual journey, progressing a bit more on your spiritual journey, so that's nice. So then we have the home and family, where you have our more root chakra stone and our abundance stone. So you wanted to look a bit more at finance, so that's kind of good, because we have the root chakra energy there with so home, finance, safety, security, money, anything like that. It's kind of a really positive anchor to something positive. Very like setting up roots is really kind of the thing with this stone. So in this kind of, it's a little bit more distant future, but really setting down roots somewhere with the home and family. Maybe finding that home of your dreams, maybe finding that job of your dreams, that kind of energy coming through with the more grounding stone. But it might be a guidance to stay a bit more grounded. Sorry. So in the more closer time frame here with the clarity, you might be called to be on your spiritual path a bit more. As we progress through the timeline, may be called to be a bit more grounded in those lower, more material energies, But it does seem like abundance is available to you in terms of, so home, where abundance comes in home and family, sunstone abundance, where abundance comes in home and family, it's very much linked to, it can be actual abundance like money, but yeah, it is very like material abundance, but it can also be having that really high vibrant positive energy of the family, making the family, the children, being in a safe and secure home, feeling very like this one, feeling very rooted. So you progress further onto feeling very, very safe and secure, highly positive energy. It's a really positive omen for abundance, especially if it lands, a material abundance, if it lands in home or if it lands in the finance section. So it is a positive omen for abundance because of where it's landed. If it landed here, it could be spiritual abundance, but here you are looking more at material, so that's nice. And we do have a little bit, so coming in at kind of a similar time frame to the sunstone, you have the confusion stone, the veil, something that's a veil. So it can be something that's hidden from you, something that you need to uncover, deceit, lies, it can be innocent, it can be confusion or misunderstanding as well, but that might impact your financial decisions. So I think the guidance here would really be to be very mindful, be very discerning, don't be too trusting when it comes to finances, because deceit and something being hidden in financial and wealth, it could be someone trying to scam you, trying to deceive you, trying to pay you less than they should or something like that. So be careful of people's lies, be careful of any, things that are scams basically in the financial wealth. Just be mindful. But we do have the malachite in the financial wealth, which malachite's another one that's kind of similar to sunstone in that there's very high spiritual abundance in this one, but it can have a bit more of a material energy when it comes to the career and business or financial and wealth section. It's coming to the financial and wealth section for you, so it can be a positive omen about that, but can also be a positive omen when it comes into the financial and wealth section about your financial and wealth path aligning positively with your spiritual path. So where you're getting this clarity on your spiritual path in the more near future, maybe you carry that along. Maybe you do align your soul mission, your purpose here, the mission and lessons that you've come to learn. You might be able to still do them alongside gaining material abundance, living positively and freely and happily in this lifetime with the material things that you need. So that's quite a nice one, but I would just be mindful of that one, particularly as you want a career reading and it's coming in finance and wealth. Could be a scam or something like that coming up, so be very discerning basically. And that was Samaya. So Samaya, Let me just read the messages here. I think we can probably do one more. I just checked the time. Yeah, you're married. I do think I knew that. I think I had that from our past conversations, which probably influenced me saying I think you've met this person. But yeah, I do kind of get that anyway. Where it lies, it would support that as well. So you said in the past experienced some negativity at the job. That's very, very unfortunate, but focusing on self-care is rarely needed. Yeah, and it's like it's such a simple message, but we do need to hear it quite often because we forget, you know. So I hope you enjoyed your reading. I really hope you enjoyed. I will be putting this kind of reading on my website soon, so I would be really grateful if anyone who enjoyed their readings on stream left a review. I will get you back to you about that soon. Carolyn, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. So, let me see. Um, looking for clarity, yes, and it looks like clarity will come, but that's more in your spiritual. So, maybe manifest a little bit for it to come in other areas as well. You're very welcome, of course. Let me see. So let me just check the time. Okay, probably don't have time to do one more, unfortunately. So I do apologize about that. But Carolyn, I will add you because this is our priority list. So oh, I spelled your name wrong. I put Clarolyn. Let me try to change that. Carolyn. Don't know how I could do that. Carolyn Morgan. Okay. So this is our priority list here. It is quite long, I know. So we have Samina, Lisa, Ankita, Pooja, Tam, Candy, Sid, Tanya, Kevin, Josie, Guided by Universe, Sarah, Sadia, Shannon, Ascendant, Universal Butterfly, and Carolyn Morgan. So everyone on that list will eventually get a reading. I'm going to do this many, many times on here. Do bear in mind that the readings when they're on the website will be even more in depth and more precise. I'm not using, of course, every single shell, stone, and bone in this reading, but what I will say as well, I've forgotten what I will say as well. Oh, I might do just the members one to prioritize the members a little bit. So I'll do a little star next to the people who are members here. And if there's enough of you, we probably do like a members stream as well, just to give you guys a little bit more of a priority. And then get to the others. And now I've had a little bit of practice on it, so really, really great. So guys, I am finishing now. I do apologise, but I'm going to keep hold of the list, so don't worry. So as I said, I am going away tomorrow. Only going away for a few days. So I won't be too long. There'll be a crystal ball either tomorrow night or the next night, so do stay tuned for that. First time ever using my miniature crystal ball, and I'll be in Hungary at the time, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I have a good connection because I've been places where I've travelled where the connection has been bad, but we'll see how it goes. But when I get back, we will pick up where we left off with bone reading, and we will be back with this. So absolutely everyone on the list, I am going to keep hold of you, so just know you are a priority and that you will get a reading eventually. And I greatly appreciate your presence here. I appreciate the likes. The more likes on the video, the more I will come back with it. So yeah, but do stay tuned because like I said, we also have flower reading coming back next month. So if you haven't had a flower reading yet, that will be another one. So yeah, stay tuned, stay in touch. All of my information is in the description of the video. If you would like a more in-depth reading, in any type of reading, crystal ball, tarot, pendulum, you know, anything, you can check it out. I do tons. Candle wax reading is one, you know, aura reading. You're very welcome to go there. All of my sessions, spells, and readings are very reasonably priced. I do energy cleansers, Reiki, sound healing, one-on-one sessions, video calls, and I do just tons of different things. Spells, love spells, money spells. I do starseed sessions and everything, so you're very welcome to check that out. And if you do need to contact me off stream for any reason, all of my information is in the description of the video. I have my Facebook, Discord, and email in there, so do feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or need anything. So yeah, It's been nice to connect with you. I'm glad that we got 4 done because when I first begin reading, I am a little bit slower with them. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry that if you didn't get your reading yet, but like I said, I promise that you will get one eventually. So love, light, and blessings to each of you, and I really, really hope to see you soon.